Some years ago, before I got my first degree, I was determined to become a writer. I gave up my certificate and chose to follow writing to build a successful life. The dream was a tough one, considering the fact that I was about the first to attend university in my family, and almost the one my folks looked up to. Now I was giving it all up to follow some dream. Months later, I was going to start working on writing my dream, but I was held back. I kept waiting until I was perfect. I was scared I wouldn't get it right. I was also concerned that my folks may be right. I'm just heading towards failure. Until I read a quote by writer and prolific author Jeff Goins. People won't give you the permission to be who you want to be. You have to take permission yourself. Stop waiting for permission. What? I was fired up by this. Encouraged by this quote, I started to pursue my writing dream, and the rest was history. The success story of Jeff Goins. I discovered Jeff Goins when I went online to start researching the best content creators. At the time, he had just started his blog, and on almost every popular blog I visited, he was there. I didn't understand why this was happening, but apparently, he was leveraging other popular blogs to promote his new blog and his new business. For many years, Jeff Goins had always wanted to become a writer. He had written some things but hadn't taken them seriously. One day, a friend asked him what his dream was. Jeff replied, "Well, I hope to become a writer." The friend looked at him, surprised. The friend replied, "I thought you were already a writer. You see, you're already a writer. You just have to start writing." That statement challenged him to stand up. He realized he had been scared to take the step into becoming the writer he had always wanted to be. According to him, he had been waiting for permission to get on with his dream. Following his friend's advice, he quit his job, and as he did, his boss told him, "I always knew you will become a writer. I was just waiting for the right time you'll quit and get to it." The people whom he thought would put him down were the same people who pushed him to follow his dream. For many long months, he wrote on his blog about people following their dreams. I was challenged by his writing, and I thank God I followed his advice. If you have a dream in your heart you want to pursue, if you have a great desire you want to see achieved, here's what Jeff Goins says. Stop waiting for permissions. Stop expecting people to hand you the permission to be who you are called to be. Start living the life you are called to live. Rejecting permission opens the way. In the last few years, since I've followed Jeff Goins, I watched him start from almost nothing to becoming one of the most popular writers online. By commitment to his dream, he went out and published lots of guest content on so many popular blogs. By commitment to his dream, he made sure he met one of the most important people in marketing, Seth Godin. By commitment to his dream, he made friends with some of the topmost online influencers we all looked up to at the time. And he did this within the span of 2 years when he started writing full-time. Stop waiting for permission. Stop expecting people to hand you the permission to be who you are called to be. Start living the life you are called to live. After giving himself permission to follow his dream, Jeff Goins wrote his first major book back then, titled You're a Writer. The book was so good it got lots of awesome reviews. He proceeded to write more books and soon became one of the go-to ghostwriters. Because I chose him as a mentor right from his start, I have watched him proceed from one level of commitment to his dream to the other, and I have seen him record more and more monumental success along the way. Now, he's more or less an internet phenomenon for anyone who wants to be a better online writer. Your dreams will not achieve itself. Your dreams will not be actualized by wishing. You will not become all you have been made to be by pursuing your dreams occasionally. Those who stand up to commit to their dreams are those who eventually celebrate. If you don't do what you must when you must, with the resources that you have, you are only wasting your time and won't be able to achieve what you were made to achieve. Stop waiting for permission. Stop expecting people to hand you the permission to be who you are called to be. Start living the life you are called to live. The piece of advice that changed my life. One of Jeff Goins' advice that I followed dutifully back then was to become a writer. Don't write a lot, just write often. At this time, I was struggling to become a writer. I was reading a lot of writers who could write thousands of words at the time. Most of them were boasting about how good they were, and I was concerned as to how I would ever become this good. Then I read those words by Jeff Goins. That was all I needed. I started by writing 250 words every morning without missing a day. Soon I was writing 500 words, then 1,000 words, until I could no longer count the number of words I wrote in one sitting. I didn't have all I needed at the time, but I used the only thing I had to get what I needed. You may not have all you need to follow your dreams, but you definitely have all you need to start. God is never incorrect. Providence is never partial. Your situation, upbringing, environment, background, or resources may be nothing to write home about, but God fitted you into exactly what you need to become all He has made you to be. David was born into a rich family. He had 7 older brothers ahead of him, but he was relegated. In fact, he didn't quite matter in the family, because when Prophet Samuel came to look for the man's sons, they only presented the older brothers and excluded David. Yet, in spite of his situation, David was constantly joyful. He was always content to be in the field, taking care of his father's flock of sheep. He was so certain of himself that even when lions and bears came to take the sheep, he would go after them, kill them, and retrieve the sheep. When it was time to choose a king, his older brothers, who were physically stronger and by appearance seemed fit for the position, were rejected. Little David was taken. Stop waiting for permission. Stop expecting people to hand you the permission to be who you are called to be. Start living the life you are called to live. Your life's dream may not take you through the path you want it to take. It may not seem exactly like you want it to be. Regardless of all this, you are right where you need to be, with the right situation you need to have to get started on your dreams. You don't need to have a lot. You don't need to gather a lot. In fact, if what you have isn't enough to get you started on your dreams, you simply are just joking about pursuing your dreams. I am yet to see any successful person who had everything they needed right before they started out. I am yet to see one self-made successful person who had all his resources intact before he launched into his dream. No, they all started with what they had. They laid aside their fears, cast away their doubts, and chose to start even when starting at the time looked foolish. The beginning of everything will not always look beautiful. Once, I looked through the poems and articles I wrote when I first started writing. I almost choked while laughing because they looked horrible. But back then, when I was writing them, they seemed like the best thing in the world. I had improved, but only through years of commitment to writing daily. It didn't matter if I fell sick or not. It didn't matter if I was making money writing or not. I just quit altogether and chose to keep committed to my writing dream. Stop waiting for permission. Stop expecting people to hand you the permission to be who you are called to be. Start living the life you are called to live. What people won't do for you. People won't give you permission to be yourself. Take it. People won't give you permission to become all you want to be. You have to take it. People won't give you permission to take responsibility for your life. You have to take responsibility for yourself. People won't care how much you're passionate about your dreams until they see the result of your passion in your commitment to pursuing your dream. If there is any dream in your heart you have been reluctant to pursue, if there is any goal you have been lackadaisical about, if there is any doubt in your heart about your ability to actualize that dream, here is Jeff Goins' message for you. Stop waiting for permission. Stop expecting people to hand you the permission to be who you are called to be. Start living the life you are called to live. I hope this message pushes you to stand up and start to follow your dreams. If this video inspired you, share the video with your friends and loved ones. We love you.